1051.
I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns, bumps and...
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the Sit Down.
Another example of how easy does, easy does, easy does, easy does, easy does.
Yes, it's the Sunday Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz, and this afternoon, across from me is actor Shane Johnson. You might know him from Power. Cooper, correct?
That's right, Cooper Saxe.
Tell me about your character in Power, if I've never watched Power.
Well, if you've never seen Power, I would say that my character is the thorn in Angela's side, really. And as the series progresses, obviously the stories become more about us mounting this case and figuring stuff out. So I think, I look at my role as being a jerk,
That's got to be fun, though.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. And I say that with pride, really. I mean, he's a jerk because he's, I'm really trying to get somewhere. I'm after something, And not only am I after something with this case, but I want her job, and I want my boss's job. And so I just think that Cooper Saxe is ambitious, And so from the outside, you look at him and go, oh, this guy's a dick. But for me, he's just driven, I want to be at the top.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Shane Johnson in the building. It's a Sunday Sit Down. If there was a different character on Power you would play, who would it be?
I would say Tasha.
What? Why?
I'm kidding.
Oh, what?
Just the first thing that came to mind.
Gotcha.
No, listen, there are a couple of roles that have just been awesome. I mean, Tommy is just a great role, and Sikora tears it up. He does such a great job at it. But that would be a lot of fun to sink my teeth into that.
Tommy?
Yeah, that'd be so much fun.
Absolutely. Shane Johnson's in the building. It tells me here that you taught yourself how to animate.
That's true.
How? How does that? What made you decide that I'm going to teach myself this skill?
I had a TV series. There was an animated series concept that I had, and I was kind of broke at the time, and I wanted to get this thing made, and I had this great concept, and in order to get it animated, I would have had to send it off to South Korea, which is what most of these people do. Most of these big companies like Family Guy, American Dad, those things are all handled in South Korea. And that's like, $250,000 for 15 minutes of animation or something like that.
Wow.
And so I was like, wow, that's not going to happen. And so I had a great cast, and like SpongeBob was my main character, the dude that does SpongeBob.
Okay.
Tom Kenny's awesome. Anyway, I had this fantastic cast, and I figured, you know what? I got to figure this out. And so I spent about 6 months just teaching myself
how to do it.
It's not really, it's painstaking, don't get me wrong. But once you figure out, like, I can't even draw.
I was going to say, because I have no drawing ability.
No, neither do I.
So in 6 months, you're telling me you went from no skill at all to an anime guru.
I wouldn't say I'm a guru, but it's enough, it's good enough that if you watched it, you'd totally get the concept, and you wouldn't be thinking about the animation. It's good enough that it's out of the way. It's better than South Park.
I was just telling my team, I'm late on South Park. I just started watching South Park. I enjoyed the banter and how they use real life-like scenarios in their cartoon. I'm just starting on South Park.
South Park is great, but their thing is not about their animation. It's about, they have a very specific style,
the plot.
And they run with it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what mine is about. It's about, whatever. That series is going to happen one day. It's called Nut Jobs.
I was just about to say, what's it called?
It's called Nut Jobs, and it's about a group of like mentally ill people who lived in a hospital, and the hospital loses its funding, and these people have nowhere to go, so they move in together into a halfway house.
I like this already.
And it's like they're in the suburbs trying to exist, with normal families, but they're all lunatics.
Somebody watching this, get this on.
Right?
Please.
It's something, right?
Absolutely. He's got a great premise. Shane Johnson's in the building. It's your main man, EmEz, the Sunday Sit Down. Why? No, not why. How did you get into acting?
I got into acting, when I was 14, I started doing plays and stuff like that, and I ended up getting a scholarship to go to study. And it was that or baseball. And so I wanted to be
Baseball?
Yeah, I was.
What position?
Second base.
Okay.
I was more of a hitter than anything. So second base is just kind of like where they hit. If you're athletic and you can hit the ball and they want you on the field, they put you at second base or maybe left field.
Yes. Yeah. Okay,
You know.
Gotcha.
But anyway, yeah. So when baseball wasn't really looking like what I wanted to do because of the politics of it, which is small town politics. And the other thing is when I first started acting, man, I did Snoopy in Your Good Man Charlie Brown was the first thing I ever did.
What do you mean?
The first thing I ever did, we had a high school play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I told the guy, I said, hey man, I'll be in your play, but I don't want any lines. I just want to be like on stage and just kind of sort of standing there. So he made
cool
me
for school.
Yeah, he made me Tumbleweed, who is Snoopy's cousin, and I just would roll across the stage.
Literally?
Just once in a while, roll across the stage for a laugh. And then a week before we opened, the dude got kicked out, and he's like, man, you got to step in. And so I did Snoopy, and the girls in the audience went nuts. And I was like, all right, I'm an actor.
This is what it's going to be.
Baseball sucks.
More girls in acting.
Yeah, well,
That's a good question. We're going to put this on a poll. Who gets more girls, actors or athletes?
You asking me?
Yeah. Answer. Since
know-
you've been in both fields.
I was too young to really know because I wasn't into girls yet at that point. I was into girls, but I had like a girl. I wasn't like, all right, here they come.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at if you're at the top of your game, whatever you're in, I think that there will be attention given to you. Big
No.
athletes.
Come on, Shane. That's not what I'm asking you. Who gets more buds, LeBron or Denzel?
Listen, all I know is when I party with 50, there are girls everywhere, man. Everywhere.
See, rappers get all the girls. Man. That's a totally different story.
Everywhere.
Shout to 50. So tell me some experiences you've had with 50.
Well, he and I don't work together on the show really, yet. He hasn't come into my world. We haven't
He
crossed
said
over.
yet.
Well, I'm just saying it's possible.
Is that a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler because I don't know anything.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't know.
I promise you.
That's going to be the headline. 50 Cent to Sour Power next season. Shane Johnson officially says it on the Sunday Sitdown.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Get me fired. No, but the truth is, man, we don't know what's coming down the pike. Like until I get the script in front of me, I have no idea what's coming down the pike. So I don't know what's happening. So I say potentially we will cross paths at some point. That's all I'm saying.
I think you're tiptoeing on me right now, Shane. I think you're tiptoeing on me right now. What's up?
I've written my own scripts for Power and I've submitted them, but they keep giving them back to me and say stop it. Because they're all about me, with all the women.
Yes. Now,
they're not interested.
Shane Johnson in the building at Sunday Sit Down. Do you have any secret talents? Things that you do that people don't know? A talent.
A secret talent.
Like some people could touch their nose with their tongue or something like that. No secret talents?
I don't have any silly thing like that, man. I'm a carpenter, an electrician.
You're handy. You do it all.
I used to build houses and stuff like that, but that's not really a hidden talent.
Where are you from originally?
Washington State, little farm town.
Okay, see, it makes
3 stoplights, tiny little place.
Makes a little sense now.
Yeah.
Nothing much to do but some wood, some hammers.
Yeah, we used to, as a kid, we'd ride motorbikes around and like
mopeds in the woods.
We had a bunch of sand dunes and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And what we would do is, when we had a little job, like a $5 an hour job, would be changing water pipes and stuff like that on farms. Alfalfa.
That's interesting. It's the Sunday Sit Down with Jermaine, man. EmEz, Shane Johnson's in the building. Being an actor, I've always wondered, how is it? It can't be easy to remember all those lines. Is there some kind of like system you use to remember lines?
I'm not going to sit here and act like memorizing lines is difficult because it's really not. It's not that hard. It's just something if you do it a lot, you just get used to it and it becomes like second nature. The hardest part of the line situation is when you're on set all of a sudden and you have all these other people around you and all the gear and all the cameras and all the lights and the director and you have 100 people and they say action and then you have to deliver it. All that pressure mounting together, that creates a little bit of a different dynamic than just memorizing them in your room, So what I try to do is be over prepared so that when the pressure of this actual shoot is there, you don't have to think about it as much. But it's not that hard, man.
So
people that memorize lyrics, I would think is a lot more difficult. People that know like 100 songs. They could just go out and yeah, let's play that one, and they just play it.
Yeah.
Like that blows my mind.
That's definitely a talent as well. That's crazy. I don't know if I could have the memory capacity to do a whole bunch of lines like that.
Well, it's definitely, listen, it's harder for some people. Like, the way I do it is I think a lot of people try to memorize words. I try to memorize what it's about first. Like, if I know the story, if I know what's happening, before I get worried about, like, what am I saying, if I just go, well, what's happening? Then when it comes time to learn the lines, it makes sense, you know? It's like it's a normal sort of course of a conversation. What follows makes sense, you know? You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it. I never thought about it that way. Huh. Shane Johnson in the building is the Sunday Sit Down.
Dropping some wisdom.
Yes. So what's on the horizon for Shane? What's new besides Power?
Besides Power, right now I'm working on a couple different productions. I have an animated feature that we've written that's out.
That's not the Nut Jobs.
No. This one is I can't really say too much about it, but it's something, you know, animated features take about 3 years to develop.
Oh.
So we've written the script, and my wife and I and Richard Lawson. And
how's that working with your wife? Most men don't really want to go into.
It's great. It's great, man.
She won't be watching this, so you can tell me the truth.
No, honestly, man, she's great, and the thing that's cool about working with her is, as opposed to another partner, is we don't pussyfoot around things. Like if she doesn't like something, she'll be like, "This is stupid. What's wrong with you?" You know what I mean? She'll be honest with me.
Okay.
Whereas opposed to a normal partner would probably be a little bit more like, yeah, you know, I'm not sure about.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Because you guys are so comfortable with each other.
She's direct.
And there's no hiding behind words. Just listen, this is it, and that's it.
Yeah, and she's so talented, and she's got, you know, she's great. I know she won't hear this, so I'm actually mean it. She's great, and Richard Lawson's awesome too. You know Richard Lawson?
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a force. You'll know him. I'll tell you who he is later.
Gotcha. Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah,
I
happy to be here.
appreciate you. Next time you're in town, where are you? You don't live in the city, do you?
I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, you do?
Well, now I do while I'm shooting.
Oh, okay.
But I live in Los Angeles. That's where my wife and kids are.
Los Angeles.
And my dog's there.
What kind of dog is it?
Labradoodle. And he's a mess, man.
Labradoodle?
He just ate my wife's underwear. He ate
There's
my
a
wife's.
joke there somewhere.
No, dude.
I just don't want to touch it. This seems weird.
He ate her underwear, and then we had to go induce vomit. It happens a lot, I guess. And then we had to go induce vomiting. This is like 2 weeks ago. And then 5 days later, he ate a sock of my kid's sock. And I was like, you know what? If he dies, it's on him. He had that sock inside of him for 6 days. 6 days, and then threw it up. And I didn't even know that was possible. I'm not kidding, man.
Wow.
It's the truth.
That's crazy.
Didn't stop him. He's still eating stuff.
I was going to say, did he not eat after the sock went down the throat, or like?
No, he everything was fine. I'll go pick up after him. There are nails in there.
Nails like
Legos.
Fingernails or
No,
like
nails.
hammer nails?
Like inch-long nails.
Okay, that's where we tap out. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate you for coming by. It's a Sunday Sit Down. Any last words you want to tell my audience?
No, man. Thank you for having me here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be taking a look. And I want to see about this nut job situation.
I'm going to send it to you. I have a teaser for it.
Dope. I want to see that
I'll
first.
send it to you.
Thank you.
Fine.
Shane Johnson, it's the Sunday Sit Down. Appreciate you.
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the Sit Down.
Another example of how easy does.
Power 105.1.